What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Okay, so here we go with some more media manipulation, and we got this article coming from the AP. As a matter of fact, let's just dive right on into this. Check this out, y'all. Trump moves to ban flag burning despite Supreme Court ruling that Constitution allows it. Okay, so once again, folks, see, this is what the corporate press does. They'll take something that Donald Trump says, and they'll twist it and manipulate it, and then be like, see, it's wrong. The Supreme Court said no. Well, we're going to get into this. Donald Trump did not ban flag burning. I know that's what's going around in left-wing circles, and it's absurdity. It's an absurd basket, if you will. It's just a bucket of absurdness, if you will. Let's get into this, and we're going to correct a record, if you will. So I think it's a pretty good move, if you ask me. But President Donald Trump on Monday signed an executive order requiring the Justice Department to investigate and prosecute people for burning the American flag, an activity that the U.S. Supreme Court has ruled is legitimate political expression protected by the U.S. Constitution. Oh, well, they forgot to mention a few things. Yeah, they forgot to mention a bunch of qualifiers. They just left this entire section out that completely changes exactly what's going on here. But we'll get into that, so y'all make sure and stay tuned. The order the Republican president signed in the Oval Office acknowledged the court's 5-4 ruling in a case from Texas in 1989, but said there is still room to prosecute flag burning if it is likely to incite imminent lawless action or amounts to fighting words. In that case, the justices ruled 5-4 that the First Amendment protects flag burning as legitimate political expression. The late Justice Antonin Scalia, the conservative icon who Trump has repeatedly praised, was in the majority. Oh, see, this conservative agrees. See, believe us, because Donald Trump is evil and Democrats are good. Democrats are really good. And this conservative that disagrees with Donald Trump. See, everything just points back to Donald Trump is an evil scumbag. That's what he is. Believe us, please. That's what the corporate press is trying to do here. And they're intentionally leaving out pertinent information that could absolutely change your mind. Because when I first saw that headline, I'm like, God dang it, come on, Trump, what the f are we doing here? Like, really? Are you serious? And then I had to read into it a little bit, and I'm like, hang on just a second. And then I went and watched the clip. Oh, okay. That's what it is. It's the corporate press, man. If you do not check these people, like fact check, like as if you are the editor, if you do not go and fact check the corporate press, who they have whole teams that sit in newsrooms that have Google, they could simply Google things. Or how about just listen to the man speak? Like, listen to all of his speech. Don't just hear, we're banning burning flags, and then run off and start smashing your face into the wall. Like, that's what they're doing here. Trump said Monday that burning the U.S. flag incites riots at levels we've never seen before, with some people going crazy over burning it and others expressing anger at people for burning it. He did not offer examples. They're trying to act like that was all he said. The text of the executive order states that desecrating the American flag is uniquely offensive and provocative. It is a statement of contempt, hostility, and violence against our nation. The clearest possible expression of opposition to the political union that preserves our rights, liberty, and security. Burning this representation of America may incite violence and riot. That is right. They're totally correct about all of this, every single bit of it. You know, I have this idea, though, that, look, I understand that burning the flag it falls well within the First Amendment, and you can't ban that outright. But look, this is kind of the way I see it. I would be fine if Trump actually did try to ban flag burning, if he tried to actually ban it, to where you would actually get in trouble if you burned an American flag. I would be fine with that, because the way I see it, you know, that flag, that represents everything about our country, from what makes it great, or what has made it great, what makes it good, and what makes it bad, and everything in between. It represents all of it, right? The good, the bad, and the ugly, right? It also represents our Constitution. So, if you take and burn that flag, To me, that is tantamount to burning the Constitution. And guess what happens when you burn the Constitution? Well, you just burn up the First Amendment. Hang on just a second. I thought that was protected speech. If you burn up you just burned away what would keep you from going to jail for what you just did. Essentially, that's what I'm getting at here. That's how I see it. Once again, folks, like, I have no problems fighting for your right to speech. But if you fight to silence other people, I am not going to stand up for your rights to say whatever the hell you want to. If you do not have the same ideology, in other words, if you do not feel the same way about freedom of expression, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, and everything that falls underneath the First Amendment, if you do not feel that same way, why should I stand up and fight for your rights? I'm not going to. And if you throw those rights in the trash and light them ablaze, do you think I care? I don't care. You don't have freedom of speech anymore in my eyes. If you're going to desecrate the flag like that, that's how I see it. But I'm a biased guy, right? The rule of law is something totally different. The rule of law definitely allows you to do so. That's just how I see it. But let's get into this because, once again, they are lying, folks. The order calls on the Attorney General to prioritize enforcement to the fullest extent possible of criminal and civil laws against flag burning that cause harm unrelated to the First Amendment. Oh, hang on just a second. So, what does that exactly mean? Okay, so basically what Trump is trying to get at here, as a matter of fact, let me just run the brief clip right fast.
Executive order on flag burning. It charges your Attorney General.
Would you listen to this? This is very important. Flag burning. All over the country, they're burning flags. Do you want to discuss that?
Sure. So what the executive order does, sir, it charges your Department of Justice with investigating instances of flag burning, and then where there's evidence of criminal activity, where prosecution wouldn't fall afoul of the First Amendment, and instructs the Department of Justice to prosecute those who are engaged in these instances of flag burning.
And what the penalty is going to be, if you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail, no early exits, no nothing. You get 1 year in jail. If you burn a flag, you get, and what it does is incite to riot. I hope they use that language, by the way. Did they?
Yeah, incitement is
incite to riot. And you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail.
Okay, so that's what it is. Oh, he's not going after people. See how the corporate press lies to everybody. He's not going after people for burning flags. You go out there during a protest and you burn a flag and nobody riots, guess what? You're fine. You're totally fine. That is freedom of expression. I mean, this is the same with speech, as a matter of fact. Like the whole yelling fire in a crowded theater shtick. You can definitely, I know you've heard this, right? I hate when people use this. You can go into a crowded theater or a venue somewhere, anywhere, it doesn't matter, and yell fire all you want to. That's totally protected. People will say it's not. The only problem is if people start to panic and somebody dies or gets hurt, gravely injured, then you're responsible for it. But it's only after harm is caused does the speech become no longer speech. It actually gets into something else, right? Whether that's battery or whatever it is, right? Threats, whatever, right? We don't have the ultimate freedom of speech in this country. That's why I don't like that term, freedom of speech. You're going to say almost anything you want to, but you go threatening the president's life or something like that. Just an idle threat. You can go to jail for that. Definitely. So we don't really have freedom of speech. But, once again, folks, if you're at a protest and you light a flag and people start rioting, causing bodily harm or property damage or anything like that, yeah, then you're going to be investigated. As a matter of fact, this opens the door so if a flag does get burned, they can open an investigation. And guess what? If just so happens, completely unrelated to what you just did, some people go over here and start, I don't know, rioting during that same protest, you get in trouble. Good. Nail them to the freaking wall. That's what I say. But you know how the corporate press, they're trying to tell you that, oh, if you just go outside and burn a flag, Donald Trump's going to put you in jail. He's an authoritarian. Let's impeach him and lock him away. That's what they're telling you. Maybe I went a little bit too far with that. Maybe that was a little bit too much hyperbole. But you get the point, right? You definitely should get the point. Now, what's fascinating about this is, hang on just a second. A lot of people aren't thinking about this. Okay, so let's take the American flag out of the equation. Just completely. Let's take it out of the equation. Let's just say you have a blank flag. Let's try to get as close to apples as we can. Let's say you get a blank flag with nothing on it, just a white flag. You go out during a protest or during anything, anytime. Doesn't matter. Doesn't have to be a protest. And you light that sucker on fire. What do you think's going to happen? You think the cops are just going to see you doing that and be like, oh, look, oh, that's protected speech? No, probably not. You're probably going to get some sort of arson charge or property damage or burning in a public place where you're not supposed to. There are laws against these things for burning things. So none of this is new, folks. None of this is outside the Constitution. But if you let MSNBC or MS Now tell you that, oh, this is authoritarian. He's finally become a dictator, hadn't he? We've got Orange Cheeto Hitler in office right now. And we're all under this authoritarian regime. That's what they're going to tell you. But hang on, once again, folks, when you critically think about what's being done here and you get all the context about what's going on, it kind of changes what happened, don't it? It kind of changes your mind. You know, it's crazy because I get a lot of people coming into the comments section, and it's so funny. It really is. Like, I got this comment today. I saw it. I think it came from the other day. But look, guys, if I don't get to your comments sometimes, I'm sorry. I'm just a busy dude, right? I work from 7 o'clock in the morning until like 9:30 at night. You know, I go to my day job and work until 3:30. I get off work. I got to go pick my kid up from soccer practice and bring him home. And then I come out here. You know, I got to do my research, go over the videos, figure out what I'm going to do, then record everything, and then edit everything. And then I got to eat, and then I got to continue editing, upload. It just takes all day long. That's all I do, essentially, is I go to work, come home, and work on this. So I don't have a whole hell of a lot of time to get to your comments, so I'm sorry about that. But I had a person leave me a comment the other day talking about he couldn't listen to this, and he tries to listen to everybody. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, you know, look, I get it, dude. I totally understand. Sometimes these echo chambers, you can't find the exit. There are no signs that say exit here. It's really hard to get out of your echo chamber sometimes. But I implore you, keep searching. If you must, my dude, run your hand along the wall. You will find a door. And when you do find that door, push the panic and go out. Or turn the knob. Whatever you got to do. Whatever kind of exit device. Egress. Get out of there. Because, that's you're in an echo chamber if you can't listen to a different person's opinions. Fascinating, don't you think? Trump said the penalty for flag burning would be 1 year in jail with no opportunity for early release. The order also states that foreign nationals who burn the flag could face having their visas, residency permits, naturalization proceedings, and other immigration benefits revoked. They could also be deported. Duh. That's a good move. That was already the case. As a matter of fact, that's nothing new either. Trump said the court that ruled that flag burning is constitutionally protected was a very sad court. I guess it was a 5-4 decision. They called it freedom of speech, the president said. But there's another reason, which is perhaps much more important. It's called death. Because what happens when you burn a flag is the area goes crazy, Trump said. If you have hundreds of people, they go crazy. He's right about that. A lot of times, but it's not the case every time. Once again, folks, if you go out and burn a flag, maybe you'll get an arson charge, or maybe you won't. Just depends on equal application of the law. And do those law enforcement officers believe in a free society? If they believe in a free society, they will apply whatever law you just broke and arrest you for that, and then you can work it out in court. That's what I say about that. You know, there's laws against burning stuff in inside city property. You know, you can't go behind your house and set a bunch of trash on fire, things of that nature, right? There's laws around fires because fires could get out of hand and you could burn the whole freaking neighborhood down, for crying out loud. So they try to keep those things in check. Well, this just happens to fall under that. But look, I get it. I totally get it. This is good. Any angle you can go against these far leftists, do it. Do it. Like I said, they call you an authoritarian, just keep going. Don't listen to it. Ignore the freaking noise. That's what I say. Ignore that noise and just keep doing it. If you know you have righteous indignation, just do it. Just go for it. That's what I say. As long as you know you're following the law, do what's got to be done, y'all. We must take our country back. We must kill this anti-American ideology. Look, I understand I've got problems with the United States too. Most of the wars that we've been entangled with over the past 30, 40 years been regime change nonsense. Really is, folks. Stuff that it was completely unnecessary. A lot of the actions the United States has taken, completely unnecessary. We engaged in slavery, trading, as a matter of fact. Outright evil, straight up. But we also abolished it. We were among the first to abolish it in this country, fought a war over it. I think that deserves a little bit of praise for doing that. I really think it does, because what was the norm around the world? What still is outside of the Western world? Slavery, folks. There's more slaves alive today than there ever have been. It's fascinating, don't you think? But I think I've rambled on for long enough. Y'all let me know what y'all think. That's all I got. Y'all don't forget to smash that like button for me. Subscribe if you like what you heard. Share this video with everybody. Like anyone and everyone. Click that join button. Sign up and become a member and help this movement expand, y'all. Y'all do all that for me. And y'all remember that God is always with us, and He loves each and every one of you. So y'all try to have a good day and stay legitical. Peace.